And you're very welcome back to the Lads Podcast. This is episode 7. I'm tired.
I'm drowsy.
That was bad.
You're bad. Fuck you. Leave me in my bad intros. Right?
I think it's
No, we've established that I'm bad intros,
it's
right?
full on established.
They're staying this way.
And how do you feel about this?
Terrible.
You should.
Sorry, will you point that mic to me again?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yes, very good. What's the crack, lads? Very welcome back to the Lads Podcast. Steve, what's the crack? How are you?
I'm not too bad, but yeah, week has been...
No, I just asked how are you.
Oh,
I
you didn't ask my week.
I don't know.
So how I am in this moment.
I don't want to know about your fucking week.
Okay, yeah. Well, do you know what? I'm not too bad. Feeling good. I'm excited to talk about
And how was your week?
Shit. Oh, you want to know about my week as well?
I do now.
Do you?
I didn't a few seconds ago.
Yeah, that's how it is, lads. Now
Cheeky
he wants to know about my week.
Yeah.
Week's been good. No, it hasn't. What did I do?
Wait, okay, so that's so Irish. Good. Wait.
Automatic positive response. Yeah, they didn't do it. We were still on 6 a.m. starts, you see. So it's hard to do things, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I'm finished them now. I'm actually on my holidays for a week.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful.
I've got 10 days off now. Yeah, so that's my week. But how was your week? But how are you first?
I'm tired, but I'm good. Bye. Busy week. Fucking a lot happened in the week. I was on 6 a.m.s, same as yourself. So I love getting up before 6 in the morning to work.
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
Do you know what really annoyed me?
What?
It's like, I normally, you know the way I'm very good at my sleep.
Yes, you're a good sleeper.
And
I was better at sleep than you this week.
It annoyed me. Like,
it was great.
I actually was competitive over
Bed
it.
at 9, sleep by 9:30, 10.
And then you get up at 4:45 because you
half
work.
five.
Yeah, because you work
you.
from home, so you can
Exactly.
just get up and go over to your desk. Quick breakfast, maybe.
Yeah, no, this week was actually a big week as well. Like, if you're listening to last week's podcast, which was on being an adult, we chatted for about half an hour on just like housing, living at home. Well, not anymore. I got a gaff. And I didn't get a gaff. I got a room and a gaff. And I'm moving out the parents'
I thought
gaff.
you just bought a house. Just got a mortgage.
I bought a house.
Did you
They
get a
were like,
mortgage?
whoa, I love your YouTube channel, boy. Do you want to live here?
was
Actually, that'll be the funny thing now is like how long until I find out about this malark? I'm not going to say anything for as long as possible.
Your housemates?
Yeah.
That'd be grand.
Yeah. A bit of a mad week, you know. Yeah, working 6 a.m.s, managing to get a room, which I'll be moving out to in the next week. So stay tuned to next week and I'll let you know how that goes on, I suppose. And what else? In pre-production for a music video. Be working on with the great Colin Andrew.
The great man himself, huh?
Which music video Steve will be in. I'm not going to reveal anything. I want you to see it when it comes out.
Look for me in it, lads. You'll find me somewhere.
Or will you?
This will be my second music video. You had me in a music video before as well.
Did I?
Yeah, Mark Daly's music video.
Oh yes.
I was the boss. I gave
you
out
were.
to you.
You gave out to. You
I
sacked
fired
me.
you.
You
I
fired
sacked
me.
you. My dream. My dream to sack
Eventually
him
to sack Daragh
from the podcast.
and do it all on your own.
That's it.
Sketch comedy.
Yeah.
Do you know what you should do sometime?
What?
Have you
Direct to sketch.
not so much direct edit?
I'd actually love to give it a whack.
I'd be worried you get kind of you like it.
What and get good or something?
No.
Just start doing it. Rival you.
I actually, Daragh, I want to start up my channel now. I'm like,
No.
oh, do you?
I just feel like
okay,
Daragh,
so this week we're doing my sketch. I'm
No,
like,
I'd be like,
oh.
Daragh, you've got the followers. I'm just going to upload the sketch to your channel.
Oh.
Steve, I don't like it.
And that's where the fights will start. So
That's where the real fights will start.
yeah,
there's
not the normal fights we usually
Officially
have.
too many cooks.
Mad week.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about this week?
Boy, we're talking about superheroes. And you know why?
Go on,
why?
tell
Because
us.
last week we were like, oh, that was a bit of a serious podcast.
Yeah,
you know, becoming an adult.
We started crying afterwards.
And
like,
you know, and people were like, yeah, we actually, you know, they were leaving us comments and stuff, you know, on our web zone saying, you know, I actually liked the serious one, guys. So we were like, okay, let's do a fucking silly one.
Fuck you, then we're
Fuck
doing a
'em.
silly one. Back
Yeah.
to stupid stuff.
Back-
But you know what? You could have some seriousness out of this. It's a genuine topic of discussion.
Is it superheroes? What are you fucking on about? Shut your mouth. Shut your fucking mouth.
But it here at this stage in 2020, it kind of is
I need a hero.
because
I'm holding out a hero.
you get me, like, because it's
and he's gotta be hot.
But you get me. It's like the fucking highest grossing movie of all time is a fucking superhero movie. Adults love superhero movies now, I suppose, is the main thing, isn't it?
That's it.
opposed
You're
to
jumping.
used to be
You're
kids
jumping
thing.
into the middle of the podcast.
Oh yeah, I
now
know.
already.
I was going to. Don't worry, I was very aware of that, and I was like, Steve, what
Can
are
you
you doing?
time
Just keep
travel?
going. Stay tuned for
Ryan Tuberty's Guide to Time Travel. So yeah, we're doing fucking What's the Story with Superheroes, as you can tell from the title. So Steve, what is the crack with superheroes? Why? When? Who?
Well, will I tell you exactly what a superhero is, Daragh?
No.
For those who don't know.
No.
Superhero is a person
Wow.
who does heroic deeds.
That's
And
amazing.
has the ability to do them in a way a normal human couldn't. That was Stan Lee in 2013 or
Oh,
something.
some man. Rest in power.
Rest in power, Stan. So there you go. That's
Do you know when the word superhero was coined?
I saw something on this. Would you like to explain in greater
Just say
detail
yes
than
or no.
I'd be able to?
Just say yes or no.
1917.
Fuck yeah.
Was it? Was it? What was the super? It was a German or something. Wasn't
That's as much as I saw on Wikipedia. Brother. Okay, before we get into it and like superheroes, because it's it's a cool topic because it's so, we know it obviously because it's taken over the media, movies, TV shows, comics, mainly movies. As you said, highest grossing film of all time.
Yeah, the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It's just huge in the zeitgeist. They're around and they've been around for ages. So
They always have, yeah.
I think before we get into what they're doing now and the culture and the effect and let's go back to humble beginnings. I think way before they were superheroes, we've always had kind of mythology and stuff.
Yes.
What I find is like, you know, the mighty Thor and Odin, they're hundreds of years old, if not thousands of years old.
Yeah.
They're old folklore tales, which is cool.
Exactly.
We have
Greek mythology.
I mean, they could be superhero. Well, no, they were kind of a bit mean. Superheroes. See, yeah, a superhero is kind of, it's basic morality tales for kids at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Now, but I don't want to undermine the whole genre of superheroes
And say it's just
stuff.
for kids.
It's just silly stuff for kids, good, bad.
Yeah,
and-
I don't know if I had that attitude for a while until I saw like Infinity War. That's when I kind of went, nah, these are good.
But that's like saying, oh, sci-fi is stupid.
Exactly.
Or fantasy is stupid. These are big genres.
Yeah,
Just
it's
'cause-
it's a story. Whatever kind of little cosmetics are on that. A story is a story, and the way it's like Star Wars is the hero's journey, but you have all the nerdy space stuff on the outside.
Do you like Star Wars?
No, I don't.
We like Star Wars. We like Star Wars so much
nerds.
we hate it.
You know you really like Star Wars if you fucking hate it.
That's it. But yeah, I think where we started where they kind of came into the mainstream, they kind of existed was the late 30s of the 20th century. DC Comics, they were the Detective Comics is where they were. In media, it was comics. Still are. I mean, that's where they come from. They only became movies in the last 20 years, really. Late 90s.
They always had. They had a lot of animated series, didn't they, back in...
Well, I mean,
not animated, sorry, but like Batman and Robin,
yeah,
like
80s,
the
90s. But
they were
they've
60s.
actually always been around.
They've
when you
always
think
been
about
around,
it.
but
Just blockbuster
always.
movies is the current way we digest them.
Exactly. They were probably a little more, maybe niche, or not niche, but yeah, maybe just directed at kids. Now they're directed at everyone.
Maybe not so, but more so based on comics. I think what we could do, because I'll let you listeners and viewers in on this. I do love a comic. I do love a superhero.
You're very into comics.
Always have, and I keep kind of forgetting it.
Yeah, and I do too, because you never really talk about it until we happen to talk about it. You go, I was reading this comic. I'm like, what?
What are you doing, nerd?
reading
And then everyone
comics?
beats me up and takes my lunch money. You
at
know?
school, like
Let's do a little bit of history, I suppose, for anyone who's just like, I think where they kind of burst onto more so the American mainstream. Keep in mind, they're all mainly American, but they spread around the gaff.
Yes.
We had the late 30s. That was the golden age.
Do you know who was the first superhero?
Oh, that's a hard one to answer.
Everyone thinks it's Duck Savage, yeah?
Who?
Duck Savage. It was actually a comic called Mandrake the Magician.
Yeah, he was one of the first. Yeah.
I think he was the first. It didn't come out till the 30s, wasn't published till, but it was actually developed in 1924. Very early.
Some man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Mandrake the Magician, Superman, Batman, Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman, Captain America. These are all guys and gals from... So yeah, the first superheroes, the first kind of comic series was those guys, and the golden age of comics was 1938 to 1957. So this were all kicked off and boomed into the mainstream. Then you had the silver age of comics, and what happened was it kind of moved away from superheroes for a while.
Yeah.
And it was based around a lot of kind of crime, romance, horror. So Riverdale, those heads and stuff, that kind of started around then.
Yeah.
And then it kind of came back. But it came back with an absolute fucking boom, man, because some of the biggest ones we still know are all 60s. Spider-Man, 1962, the Hulk, Iron Man, Daredevil, Nick Fury, Thor, the Avengers, they all came out of the 60s.
So much. Yeah, that's the thing.
Drugs, brother, you know?
Isn't it funny? The only ones in, like, when we were kids and through maybe the 90s and stuff that were in the mainstream were, like, X-Men
Yes.
Spider-Man, Batman.
X-Men came around in the 60s as well.
It did, yeah. But that's what I mean. But they were the ones in the mainstream. They all came out in the 60s, and they were the ones. And then it wasn't until the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's when you had like Iron Man, Thor.
Yeah.
All these ones that you didn't really hear of for a while, and they made them
IPs, these intellectual properties. All these characters have been around,
long.
since the 60s.
But it's funny, I'd never heard of Iron Man before.
Did you not?
The MCU.
I heard of him and I didn't give a fuck about him.
But no one did.
Who's this tin can fucker?
Literally everyone was like, oh, Iron Man. And they made him fucking, I guess, Robert Downey Jr., they made him one of the most likable ones there is.
Yeah.
Fairness was really impressive.
I'll come back to him in a minute. I just want to...
Sorry, go on, yeah, you go through that first.
Just for the listeners, I just want to boot through kind of history of it all in media, I guess.
Go for it.
So where were we? Yeah, the next we're into the kind of the Bronze Age of comic books, and again, mainly superheroes, keep in mind. That's 1970 to 1984, so... The storylines started becoming a little bit more relevant to social issues, the likes of racism.
Yes,
and it makes sense with the zeitgeist at the time.
So they were starting to become a bit more, I guess they were starting to become less just a fun bit of extra fiction.
Johnny saves the day, Super Jim.
So it's like they slowly became, like, because you think of the Avengers ones, they're very serious, and a lot of them are gritty.
Yeah.
A lot of superhero movies of today.
Gritty, you say. That's the next in the current phase of comic books, superheroes, is the modern / dark era. And the reason it's dark is because it just became... They realised we can actually do dark stuff and gritty.
Adults like it.
And this was started with the very famous Watchmen. If you don't know what Watchmen is fucking amazing. Oh my god, do I love it. Watchmen was written by Alan Moore, drawn by Dave Gibbons, and it was kind of it was a parody, nearly a satire. They were all anti-heroes, and it was the first time we saw superheroes or ex-superheroes, but they were all not
dickheads. Great people. Like,
they were crappy people with questionable morals.
Yeah, so it's interesting how you brought that, which is another. That's like obviously the type of story.
They were anti-heroes.
But it's the type of story that's been told for ages.
Yeah,
but not with this type of not in a superhero form. Yeah, we thought of superheroes as for kids before this.
And it's funny. So that was 1984.
Yeah,
it's very funny. So like when you think of gritty superhero, you think of the Nolan trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy. You think of all that stuff. I'm like, no, we've been gritty since the 80s.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you see it's hard because it's just been modern era since then, and you've kind of. Superheroes and comic books and stuff have just gone through like load of reboots in the 90s and refresheners and trying to make them. Fun fact, did you know that Marvel declared bankruptcy in 96?
I did. I heard that recently, and they were almost fucked. So.
Yeah, they sold...
they're not fucking bankrupt now.
I hear they're doing well.
I think they did it all right there in the last decade.
Their first superhero film was Blade. Have you seen Blade?
I don't fucking want to.
I couldn't be arsed. I'll see it at some stage, but it's...
That was before the MCU. Marvel Studios, I suppose, yeah.
Well, even before Marvel's... Well...
Was the Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi trilogy Sony or Marvel?
Yes, because what happened was, to make Blade, they sold the rights to X-Men and Spider-Man.
Okay.
Which ended up... And then in the early 2000s, Sony went ahead and made the Sam Raimi Spider-Man and the Bryan Singer's X-Men, which... They were our childhoods. That's where we kind of came in to this. Yeah.
And but mainly with us, it wasn't comics. Apart from those movies, before that, it was cartoons. The animated Spider-Man series, the animated Batman series,
the Saturday morning cartoons.
The old ones, like the reruns.
But that's before. I wasn't reading comics. Weren't really available in Ireland. You had the Dandy and the Beano.
I got into comics, Spider-Man comics and X-Men comics. Yeah, for about a couple of years when I was about 10. My cousin literally used to just get me a comic every once in a while. It was just this thing. He was like, "Oh, you might like them," and he just
nice.
It was just if he was passing a shop, he'd just pick me up a comic.
He'd steal it, of course.
Oh, he'd rob it, and he'd be like, "Don't tell anyone where you got this."
Yeah.
But
Spider-Man will get you. He doesn't like
Spider-Man. Yeah, he's...
I didn't read comics, but I was fucking hooked on the X-Men, fucking Spider-Man, Batman the animated series, Justice League, anything I could watch, I watched. I loved a bit of Teen Titans. Oh, get me that shit. And then Iron Man came out when it was 2008, so we were 14.
Yeah. I didn't watch it until... I didn't get into those until like 2015.
Mad.
Genuine. Age of Ultron. I was like, right, I'll watch. So,
20.
My girlfriend at the time when Age of Ultron was coming out was like, "Oh, do you want to go see Avengers?" And I was like...
What's that?
Yeah, I was very uncultured. I wasn't a man of culture, like.
If Martin Scorsese heard you by calling them culture,
fucking...
You'd batter, yeah.
Yeah, I know. What am I doing called superhero movies culture?
Well, they are.
They are. You know what? Fuck you, Marty.
He's going to get you now.
Anyway, she wanted to see that, and we were like, oh, we go to cinema. She was like, oh, I'd like to see this. I was like, oh, cool. You know, she was into the movies, and I was like, oh, yeah, I've actually never seen them. So she was probably like, God.
That's
and
when she
rightly
dumped
so.
you.
Huh?
That's when she dumped you.
Yeah. And,
that moment.
No, so I was like, oh yeah, I better go back and watch the first Avengers, because I thought this was the second Avengers, and I had no clue what was going on, because I didn't see Iron Man, I didn't see fucking... I didn't see...
That's like jumping into Harry Potter 5.
I tell you, man.
Who are these kids?
But you know, like, as far as I was aware, I was like, oh yeah, this is the second Avengers film, so that makes sense. And I was just like, what the fuck? They're not introducing these characters.
Man, that's the
Enjoyed it though, you know.
That was the second crossover.
I know.
Those are crossover.
I know. I was a bit behind, but I got there. I caught up, and I enjoyed.
And here
them.
we are now making a podcast.
Here we are now.
It came from comics, and then again with the Sam Raimi movies into the. And yeah, the MCU took over from 2008 onwards, and money.
You know what though about the MCU? It's such a fucking. I don't know how planned this was. I don't think it was planned. I think it was a happy accident. But it's such a fucking genius. I want to say, I guess, marketing. No, it is though. I guess if you're talking about movies to make money, because unfortunately, that's all.
Every other studio around them is trying so desperately to copy them, and it's failing miserably.
But you see, the reason why it's like they use the formula of the hero's journey. You know, set up conflict resolution, throw in extra things where here and there. But they're using the characters that are around since the fucking 60s.
You know the characters exactly.
There you go. So. It appeals to the kid because it's fucking cool looking, it's funny, it's action, it's whatever. You know, and it also appeals to very old generations because they're like, oh, I remember Spider-Man when I was a kid. So they're like, yeah, I'll go see that.
There you go.
Up to age fucking 70 maybe.
A board of studio executives are like, hey, yeah.
This is a great idea.
All demographics, hell yeah.
And then you make, I don't know, I didn't look up how much the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe's box office, but I'm not going to look that up. Couldn't be arsed.
There's no way of knowing.
There's no way of knowing. There's this thing called...
Bing
will tell you.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's kind of the history. That's the crack. But yeah, we're kind of... Weirdly enough, it's just always been there. Spider-Man, Batman is a household name. Who's your favourite superhero?
I don't know, man. See...
Who's your favourite superhero?
My cynical brain knows that they're all the fucking same.
They're all fake.
They're all the same.
Your cynical brain knows.
They're all the same character, like...
How... They couldn't be any more wrong, but...
Okay, let's not have an argument, but...
No, man, that's what people want to hear.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Two grown men fight about comic book.
They're not... I mean, in that, like, they all have the similar... Like, they have different personalities, but they have similar, like, conflicts and stuff, don't they? But I mean that about every... Not just superheroes, every fucking... Like, Luke Skywalker, all the fucking Harry Potter.
Like Star Wars.
They're all... I mentioned something else. Harry Potter. What I'm basically trying to say is, like, there's only... Fucking isn't there? We've talked about this before, like that. There's if you actually go down to the very core of every story in the world, there's only like 7 stories ever. Sure, you know that kind of way. Like like everything is quite repetitive.
I think where a lot of them come from. Again, is what we said earlier. It's this very basic morality, goodies versus baddies, and but that's fine.
I'm not shitting on it
because a lot of these guys are anti-heroes. There's villains. Yeah. There's redemption stories. There's goodies. There's bad. You know, everything in between. It's so big, like, and that's what's nearly so appealing.
Yeah, but I guess to answer your question, what I meant by that is like,
just who's your favorite superhero, man? Fuck's sake.
What I meant by that is,
do you know, Spider-Man.
I see all their similarities. So like. You know, basically, yeah, they're all quite similar, really, aren't they? So I don't really. My point is, I don't really have his favorite because I like them all because I don't look at superhero movies for like depth.
I'm not saying movies. I'm saying genuine. I'm not saying. I know that's the only
superhero. Way. Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. That's my personal way of consuming these. I don't read comics, so that's why I say movies. So like, you know, I don't like. It's just kind of like bubblegum fun for me. You know, it's just a bit of escapism. So I like them all. They're pretty all cool. I guess Iron Man is probably the most likable character. Yeah, but they're all good. Spider-Man, Captain America, they're all great. Great crossover thing the Avengers are. Yeah, because you combine all those different personalities.
I'm disgusted with you. I am just you know you condense
you Rorschach or something.
No, I like you kind of just condensed a whole fucking thing down to like they're all good. I like them all. Well, hey, I'm like.
That's grand.
It's like, say, do you like movies? Yeah, I like them all. They're all great. They're all the same, basically.
But that's just how I kind of watch
Media,
superheroes.
it's all good. It's all the same. Language,
Boy,
it's all good. It's all the same, isn't it?
I'm allowed to have this opinion.
You're
about
not allowed to have
superhero
opinions
movies. I am about
on this
these
podcast.
Movies. Go on. Who's your favorite superhero?
I don't know. Spider-Man.
They're all the same, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, like, when I was a kid, Batman and Spider-Man were the coolest. That's why you like things when you're a kid, because they're fucking cool. But the funny thing, and as an adult, when you have, a rational brain, Batman's a bit of a dickhead. He's a billionaire genius, right? So he's a wealthy 1%er, okay?
Yeah, literally.
Inherited wealth, thanks capitalism. That it also just reinforces the whole thing that, like, you get rich from having rich parents, and their parents being rich. No, there's no such thing as a fucking rags to riches story. I'm sorry, America, capitalism.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest trick that capitalism ever told, was that you can be rich.
Yeah.
Wait, you're poor. You can be rich if you work 60 hours a week in a warehouse.
Get up at 3 a.m. every morning.
Yeah, and then you'll be rich. Oh, wait, I just lived my whole life and you're poor. Sorry.
That's why I love Joker, because it, like, made me think about that. Something I never, because again, as I said, I really look at superhero movies and I'm just like, yeah, this is good. But I never thought about that about Batman, and I thought,
but
it really highlighted it,
Anyway, sorry about that communist tangent.
Daragh, it's grand boy.
Things about Batman is, so he's a billionaire, so he's smart and he's strong, he's peak human. Sure, you can be that if you're a billionaire. You can go to the best schools and you can have the best workout routines and live in fucking Wayne Manor, right? What does he do? He just beats up poor people. What's a henchman,
Batman,
Steve?
boy.
What's a henchman? Henchman is just a fucking guy who needed a job.
Daragh, you're ruining Batman.
I am.
Stop ruining Batman on everyone.
I am, like, it's a case of, a henchman is just, he's a criminal. What's a criminal? What are you on about?
Yeah.
So that's the thing, as kids, like, they're the baddies, you can beat them up. It's black or white. Yeah, beat up the henchman. Pow, haha.
There's, I guess,
break his legs, break his spine. Bruce Wayne just kicks down the door and breaks a guy's spine.
There's not enough grey in Batman, is there?
Not very much, yeah, and that's
or is there?
a lot of superheroes are quite just black or white, but then you'll find the niches who are quite grey and stuff.
Yeah, you do, and I love when you have something like that flirts with that kind of thing more, because I love those kind of stories that are where things are morally grey.
You should read Watchmen, boy.
I think I'd love it. You see, that's the thing.
Should absolutely.
See, the ones I've watched are the
Bubblegum.
The bubblegum, like Iron Man. They all hero's journey, set up conflict resolution, walk off into the sunlight.
Yeah,
good heroic deeds.
Say Luke Skywalker again.
Luke Skywalker.
There he is. Star Wars.
Or Rey, if you watch the sequels.
Who?
Or Daragh. Why do you think superheroes are so kind of relevant, and how they've lasted this long in pop culture?
Ooh.
And why they're still fucking relevant in pop culture these decades later, nearly a century later.
I think because it's just good entertainment. And not only that, but it's already developed established names and brands.
Yeah.
Like there's new superheroes coming out the whole time. There's actually fucking thousands of them.
Really?
Yeah.
You just wouldn't.
Man, that's the thing. These studios, it's just this tiny tangent. Yeah. These studios have hundreds they're sitting on. They'll go forever. There's so many of them. Just obviously we only know we talk about the popular ones.
Cream rises to the top, boy.
That's it, boy. But there's still loads, and there's still loads being made. But but it's kind of trust. Oh, I know who Batman is. Oh, I know who Spider-Man is. Oh, I know.
They'll go and see Batman.
I know who Marvel is.
They'll go
Marvel
and see
has been
Hulk,
a household name,
and they'll see Thor. They probably took a risk at putting Iron Man as the center of the MCU. That was probably
putting Thor, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's probably more. No. Yeah. Probably.
No.
Yeah.
He was just the Thunder god with the big pointy hat.
Yeah, because your safe ones were Spider-Man, Batman, to whatever.
Superman.
Yeah, Hulk. But I think
Calendar Man.
The magician. Yeah, in fairness, the MCU kind of almost took a gamble with making Iron Man and.
But yeah, to continue on your question, why? It's just because at the end of the day, it's just good entertainment. There's a lot of stories to be told. It's fun. It's still the genre of action and adventure.
Yes.
A lot can be relatable.
They remind us of ourselves.
Yeah, X-Men actually started out as being essentially representative of minorities, whether it be ethnic, just general social minorities. It's the whole story of we're different. Yeah. We're embracing we're different. The people out there don't like us, but we don't give a fuck. We are, the X-Men.
Boys, we're the boys.
But we're the, and it came out in the 60s. It was very, topical 60s, and stuff. Yeah.
You were around in the 60s, weren't you?
I was, yeah. I was, man, look, Why do you think I've no hair?
Sure.
I'm 70.
Once you're 70, you have no hair. You see superhero movies like are always, the setting is a world identical to ours. So it's not too like, and you know,
Earth B126.
Yeah, but you know, like most of them are like, obviously going to space in some of them, but most of them are like Spider-Man lives in normal fucking Earth.
Yeah.
He lives in, where the fuck's he from?
Queens.
And you know, it's just the way it is, like, so it's so easy to relate to them, like.
And Batman's from Gotham.
Yeah.
Which is New York. A metropolis is New Jersey.
But it does, you see, it speaks to everyone. There is this kind of human desire to be better than who you are. So that's like a projection of the having abilities that humans don't. You know,
when I was a child, I can vividly remember back being a child and just
trying to fly,
wishing I could fly or swing around like Superman. It's this, it comes out to that primal thing of I wish I could fly.
Do you ever hear about like not real life superheroes? We're not going to call them that, but like,
okay.
Do you know people who have like superhuman?
So real life superheroes, yeah.
Exactly, Iron Man himself, like. But you know, like people who have certain mutations, I guess, kind of like what X-Men is inspired by. But actual people who have like certain mutations, you know, which add new variants into the gene pool, isn't it? Is that what a mutation is?
Essentially, yeah.
And but sure, actually, sure, evolution isn't possible without mutations, isn't it? I'm just reading my notes. I'm a fraud.
Reading Wikipedia.
I have it open here. No, I just wrote this down that like because I thought this was interesting, that like a single human couldn't drink cow's milk and not get sick. You know, that was caused by...
I can't.
You still can't, yeah. There you go, you're weak.
You're saying I'm a superhero?
You haven't had that mutation yet.
Damn.
You know, because that's like a superpower, being able to drink cow's milk.
Yeah, because
if you compare that to 12,000 years ago. Do you know if you can time travel, which we talked about a few weeks ago?
Did we?
Yeah.
No, we're doing that next week.
Oh, that's next week.
We wink to the camera for people listening.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the world who actually have these mad things, like there's this guy
Throw us a few.
I'll throw you a few if you want. There's some funny ones. Eero Ranta.
Is that his name?
I guess.
Oh, sorry, that's just you butchering his name rather than a superpower.
Man, look at me. Yeah, that's my superpower, butchering names. He had a condition resulting from a mutation in the erythropoietin receptor gene. So it resulted, that too. But listen, it resulted in the ability. Sorry for cut across it because that was a bit of banter. You shake your head.
What's he on about?
This resulted in the ability to carry 50% more oxygen in his bloodstream.
Nice.
So like mad endurance things. Yeah, I didn't look up what titles he has and all that, but
I'd say he wouldn't be allowed to compete in anything.
I don't think he is, and I think he was caught injecting hormones anyway, so that could be bullshit or something, or
he already had
steroids.
This natural ability. He's like, fuck it, more.
I want more.
Icarus, boy.
There's this guy. This one is crazy. He's dead now. Michael.
It's not a real superhero, so come on.
They don't die.
Fuck's sake.
Michael Lotito. He was a French entertainer, and do you know what his superhuman ability is?
What?
He can eat anything.
Was it the guy who ate glass?
Yes.
I remember him in the Guinness Book of World Records. The man who could eat glass. Fuck it.
I watched a video on
glass
him.
For dinner.
This fella is it's crazy. Like he like I saw a video of him and he's with his wife and
he's eating
a salad comes out, right? And she has the salad. The salad goes out, there's a light bulb in the salad. It's like they went through the time and you know there's a knife and fork. And there's a fucking hammer in place.
Was it the glass hammer?
No, it was actually. This is such a continuous podcast, so many throwbacks. So he has the hammer where the fucking fork is, and he's all, this is so fucking normal to him.
Would he not eat normal food? No,
but he has normal food as well. No, he eats that too. Like he needs nutrition, I guess. So he wraps the bulb in it, and it was just the way it was shot. It was done like an absurd sketch. It wasn't. It was an actual documentary, but it was done like it. So he just wraps it in a napkin, and he just like smashes the fucking bulb, and it just cuts back to his wife, and you can see she's like trying to like smile and stuff, but you can see she's just so fucking concerned. No, concerned that he's gonna kill himself by doing this, by cutting him, because it was it's the way, it's like a challenge to him, the technique at how he chews the glass, and he's so careful with doing it.
Sure, David Blaine could eat glass, by.
Who's David Blaine?
Magician.
What a man.
Superhero. You don't know who
for
David Blaine
superhero.
is?
Oh yeah, so his thing is he eats like fucking bicycles. Like he trims them into small pieces with the pliers. So you went into a bike shop, ate the wheel of a bicycle in 20 minutes, as in the what are they called?
Yeah, the wheel.
Not the whole wheel, but the bits of the wheel, say the long little wire bits,
Spokes.
cuts them up, and he ate the rim in 40. So it took him an hour to eat a fucking full wheel. But his thing is like
Weak man, speed it up.
I know, yeah. He drinks mineral oil, and uses water to wash it down for lubricant. And it showed like X-rays of the fucking bolts and stuff in
How
his
does he
thing.
shit?
I don't know, but they had a funny gag, alright, where he goes to the toilet and they like, but it's a metallic sound effects and stuff,
Very fun. Thanks for describing that for me,
It was
Steve.
very funny.
I feel like I'm there.
But it's so funny that the doctor's like, what the fuck? They're like, there's nothing in biopsies or blood tests that shows that he's any different. It's more of a mental, it's more of like, it's literally just him being determined to do it. Like, and it must be a bit of a...
So wait, so his body isn't like super lined or something that allows
No,
him to
I
eat
think,
glass
no, physically he seems fine. I think it's literally just...
in his head.
In that, yeah, he probably has, like, he can't feel as much pain as a lot of people. And fear, I'd say he doesn't have much fear or pain. I'd say he's just like, not doing it.
Nice.
So that's
Do you have any other real life superheroes, brother?
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne has
He's
no side effects for all the things he's snorted, injected, drank all his life. And the man apparently is so grand health wise.
Oh yeah, all his peers are long dead. Like,
and he's just like, it's just like, but they actually did. He had his genome sequenced. Genome, yeah. Is that a word? Did I do that right?
I believe so, yeah.
Fucking, can you give me a clap?
No.
He'll give me a clap someday.
You got a word right.
Yeah, his genome
you don't get clap for that.
Sequenced, and researchers said they found several gene variants never seen before. So, maybe there's
Ozzy Osbourne's a superhero.
He's not just lucky. He is a superhero.
Ryan Tuberty's a time traveler. Brilliant.
Another one, and I enjoyed this one. You know Mary Lou Henner?
No.
An actress she did like Taxi, that sitcom from like the 70s.
Oh yeah, I watched that the whole time.
She's got
Fuck you,
hyperthymesia.
Okay.
Do you know what hyperthymesia is?
Yeah.
There's only like 60 people worldwide who have this. Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I know if I knew I wouldn't have to.
I'll tell you so.
Yeah, go on, tell me.
It's the ability to like have a very, very specific memory where you can recount. Like, it's as it like you can remember specific things from like your childhood. You could go back so early in your life and be able to describe like not kind of photographically, as if it's like a kind of like a video clip that you're watching. You're able to say, "Oh yeah, the weather was like that day," and it's like people who are very very obsessive with dates, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Sister Sumta.
Does that remind you of anyone, Daragh?
You?
I think I might have fucking hyperthymesia, man. Genuinely, I started looking up all about this, and I was like, do you know how you say things like you read things and you say, "Oh my god, that's me"? I've never read something before, and actually,
really, I've read things.
I just can't. I learned there last week, but I've never read something before and actually thought, "Fuck me, that is me." Because it's not like, it doesn't mean like, oh yeah, you can relay a lot of subjective information, like you can have a photographic memory for tests. It's like it's autobiographical accounts of it's personal memories. You know what I mean?
Okay. What were your first words?
Fuck.
Oh, fuck, he's right, yeah. Fuck on.
I got it wrong. I wonder, I'd like obviously Trek, like, but I'd love to actually go and test that.
Brilliant. So you're a superhero,
so do you
basically.
know that,
and we should just give you a load of money.
I'm a superhero.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well done.
I looked up about, the only bad thing is there's like the talks that it's a possible lead to Alzheimer's because you're storing so much information.
Irony.
And I know, but literally, but it makes sense.
Louise.
But it makes sense. Now, this isn't confirmed, like, so I'm not like fucking shitting myself or anything. I might not even have it.
You probably don't, as in you don't.
I don't know, man. I very easily could. Why couldn't I?
Because you don't.
But Daragh, no, but
I just don't believe you. I'm sorry.
Daragh, like, just for context for listeners, there's always things that in our childhood I'll recount to Daragh and say, do you remember that?
You've a good memory. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I do, but it's like with like I don't know, I just think I might have this thing, Daragh.
Okay,
can you just leave me have this thing?
Yeah, you do.
Can I be one of the 60
do you know what? I'm a doctor and you do.
Can I be one of the 60 people in the world?
You're 61.
Can I be 61?
You're 61 years old.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah. Well done.
I hope I don't get Alzheimer's from it though. That's the only thing.
We'll see now.
But it makes sense because your store, it's like, I don't know, something about how exhausting it is, and basically you're using up a lot of memory, losing up a lot of RAM. RAM's going to run out.
Head RAM.
Yeah, literally, and computer's going to crash.
That's it.
So lads, if you'd like to support my hyperthymesia, then you can support us on our Patreon for patreon.com /
That was the worst segue to Patreon ever. / what?
The Lads Podcast.
Well done.
Yeah.
No, in seriousness, if you really enjoy what we're doing week in, week out, number 7, we made it. Once you hit 7, that's it. This is a thing. In fairness,
we talk about superheroes the whole time now.
This is the Lads Superhero Podcast. But yeah, if you want to support us, patreon.com, as Steve just said, we'd really appreciate it.
We would.
Or at the very least, look, share the podcast, like the podcast, subscribe on Spotify. That's your homework, even if you don't listen to it on Spotify.
That's your homework. Write out 50 times.
Write out the Lads Podcast, the transcript.
Transcript. 7 episodes of the fucking Lads Podcast.
50 times.
200,000 words. That could be a dissertation. No, it couldn't. Speaking of the Patreon, by the way, lads, we'd like to just give a shout out to this week's patron, our newest patron.
Well, hey.
Their name is, I'm very sorry for butchering your name, Neusha? Neusha? Neusha. Very sorry for butchering your name if I pronounced that wrong.
But thank you
so much. We appreciate that.
We do. Thank anyone who's ever joined us on our journey to Patreon.com.
God bless.
Thank you.
So, Daragh.
So, Steve.
We asked the audience some questions, didn't we?
We did. The question we asked, and we'll ask each other first, is if you had a superpower, what would it be? Steve, what would it be? Bar the one you already have.
I did. Yeah, but bar my hyperthymesia.
Yeah, bar your current one if you had to have a different one.
See, there's a few. It's hard to whittle it down, isn't it? Probably fucking teleport.
To teleport, interesting.
Yeah, just fucking no more car.
No more walking. That's not good.
What am I on about? Yeah, Jesus, I'm Mr. Move. Like,
you're Mr. Move, and then you wouldn't, and then you'd explode.
It'd be handy for work, though, wouldn't it? Well, I'm going to explode anyway, age 30.
Yeah. Well, man, you wouldn't continue being a scaffolder if you could teleport.
No, I would. I'd just teleport right up there.
No, you wouldn't. You'd be the only person in the world who could teleport.
Yeah. What am I on about? I wouldn't need to. I'd have so much more opportunities.
Nah, stay humble. Stay humble, boy.
Yeah. No, just like, everyone's like, we need you to like stop the polar ice caps from melting. I kind of like the old scaffolding.
Can I do it after work?
I kind of like the old scaffolding if that's right. Like, sorry.
How would you do that with teleporting, boy?
What, scaffolding? Or it's
no, save the polar ice caps.
Just teleport up to them and just
ask them to stop melting.
Will you stop melting?
Hey.
And then they go, yes, Steve. They've been waiting for the man to teleport.
Yeah,
they just. Hey, has anyone ever been up there? Like,
have you ever tried just talking to them? Just ask them nicely to stop melting.
You know what I mean? We're going through all our ways to try and stop global warming, but no one has tried to just go up and say, lads,
we always say, like, if you want someone to stop being problematic, you have a conversation with them.
Ice caps. Do you think?
Or do you know what we should just do? We should just cancel them. Cancel the polar ice caps.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about them anymore.
Yeah. We just negated the fact that it is us humans who are melting them, though, and not the ice caps.
What?
Sorry. Do I know you from somewhere?
I don't know where I am.
So, Daragh, what would your superpower be?
Telekinesis.
Of course. Damn, why didn't I pick that one?
Oh, you can't have it now.
Reading mind or something?
No, telekinesis is moving things with your mind. Anything with your mind. Scarlet, for context, Scarlet Witch.
Luke Skywalker?
Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, yes. Scarlet Witch from the MCU. Now, in the movies, she's all like red stuff and she uses her hands. That's just because you need to, like, you know, on film, it needs to look cool.
Yeah.
I'd just be like,
Oh, yeah.
Because then technically I could fly because I can move myself.
Exactly.
And I could be like, see that car? Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
That would be class. What about reading minds? Would you like to read minds?
No.
It'd be scary, wouldn't it?
You know what everyone's thinking about you.
Yeah.
Look, before we discuss more, we asked our audience, as we do every week, we reach out to you guys. I said, you guys, I'm an American. I'm disgusted with myself. But anyway, you guys, y'all, we reach out to you and ask you just to contribute. And this week we had the very fun question of, what would your superpower be? Steve, let's start reading them out.
Let's start. Go on.
Moody Bollocks wrote in and said, the power to finally...
Moody Bollocks.
That's his name. The power to finally find inner peace and acceptance of myself.
Aww.
Or to summon churros. Nice. Churros are fucking tasty, boy.
That was very nice. It's not going to happen, though.
It's not going to happen. You'd have more of a chance of summoning churros, boy.
You know what? And I wish you the very best of luck on that journey, lad. Finnegan has wrote to us a few times, and I feel like I'm pronouncing that wrong.
Just ask them.
I just can't pronounce anything. That's my superpower. I've loads of them. The ability to always have enough money in my pocket for any purchase I make.
Nice.
You know, like.
So essentially, you're rich, but it's just in your pocket.
But that's kind of good. It's not like, yeah, exactly. It's just when you need it in the moment. So
when you need to take out a mortgage. And it always has to be cash. It always has to be cash.
Yeah, cool.
That's kind of a pain in the ass. Sometimes it's handy for like, exact change for a Freddo, you know.
You're buying your house and 200 grand just pops into your pocket. Oh, that pants rip.
And I have it there now. Revenue would be up your hole. Be like, where are you getting this money by?
This sounds like a terrible one. Go on, what's the next one?
Stop time. Sean says stop time, but he wouldn't be pervy about it though, he says.
Thanks for clarifying that, because I was just about to call him a perv.
If anyone says invisibility,
you are a pervert.
You're a pervert.
Come on. You're definitely a pervert.
It's fine if you're a kid and you're innocent and stuff. And, to be invisible, cool.
But if you're over the age of 16 or...
If you're over the age of 8 and you want to be invisible...
Yeah, if you're over the age of understanding, which is 7, as we talked about in the last
No, they should know that from the last podcast.
They should. You should be watching them all in order.
At once. Watching them all at once.
Synchronise them together, lads. It's not that hard. He edits the thing. If he can do that, you can do that.
All right. What's the next one?
Joe said to be able to get the duck to when someone asks for it.
The what?
The glass hammer, is it? What are you laughing at?
The duck do.
What's a duck do, boy? Stupid. Go on, what's the next one?
Sean says Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah. Do you know what? Just the ability to Spider-Man.
And Kev says time travel. Instead of throwing another one, sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Gary says, if I had a superpower, I'd grow my beard all the way up to my eyes because it's class.
Oh my god, it's like as if I know somebody who has that power.
Jesus, I just am a superhero, aren't I?
Steve's a superhero.
Thomas said, easy, teleport. Thomas, that's mine. You can't take my one.
Thomas, it's actually been dibs already.
He's said about free holidays and you can go abroad after work, come back for tea. He's dead right.
Luke says, to be able to not want to die. Luke, I think you should reach out to friends, family, or a professional.
Luke, if you'd like to genuinely talk, you can talk to us on our personal accounts or something. You
can just slip us a DM.
You know, it's
if
all
you're
right.
Or if you're messing, just wanna make sure, just in case you're not. Mark says, firepower is like the Human Torch, objectively the best power. You know what? I won't say objectively.
Probably is one of the best.
Set your house on fire. Yeah, great power.
Cook it. Oh shit! You just live in a firehouse. You'd find out how to channel your own fire energy.
I suppose if you're impervious to fire, yeah.
You know,
I think it's cool. I think Mark has the right idea, you know, with image. Yeah. Yes.
Mark's on the creative side of things.
Yeah.
Max said, instantly turn anything to mud. People who get fierce angry would be the dog's bollocks, honestly.
It would. Now, that's objectively the best power.
That is the best. Fair play, Max. Give us a laugh there.
Rana says, hope you're staying healthy, happy, and safe.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you,
Rana. Cheers.
That was nice. I don't want to reveal your username. So this person says, speak every language in the world. Not super exciting, but handy. I'm old. That's class. That's class.
That's fucking.
You could live and work
anywhere,
literally anywhere.
Imagine you had that, and you could teleport.
I mean, even being bilingual is really handy to just getting work.
Barra said, "Toaster hands. My hands are the weight of toasters, and my palms heat up at the rate that toasters do."
That's very slow. So it's like Human Torch, but slow and bad and weak.
Just toaster hands, like.
Fucking toaster hands.
Oh yeah. This Barra actually just elaborated.
Yeah.
Hi lads, I want to elaborate on my answer to the superhero question. So they also glow like the inside toasters do. So I'd be
very dim. So
I'd be shitting at dark alley fight scenarios to get the upper hand. But I'd make class cheese toaster. Swear to God, toasty. He meant to say.
Thanks, Barra.
Thanks so much for that, Barra. Ross said, "Beer piss. I'm cake man."
Fucking beer piss.
Yeah. Luke said, super speed because it is every superpower in one. No need for teleportation, invisibility.
Yeah, bang, gone.
Fucking hell, he's cracked it.
He's cracked it.
He has cracked it. Dead right, boy. Well done. The ability to read minds, but also be able to turn it off. Yeah, very important.
No. You can't cheat. It's all or nothing. You have to read everyone's minds.
You have to know exactly what they're thinking about you all the time.
That's it. Someone walks into the room. They're like, God, he looks shit today. Hey man, you're like, oh thanks.
Oh, the paranoia.
You'd lose your mind.
You'd lose your mind. So the irony of being able to read minds, you'd lose your mind.
And that's the novel.
That's all the bits.
Steve, I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
Daragh, thanks. Anytime available every Friday for you.
Yeah.
Every Monday morning or,
I won't have you on next week. I won't have you on next week.
I don't really want to go on again, if that's right.
I'm
free anytime, but
I don't want to have you on again, to be honest.
I'm just kind of being forced at this stage.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't think people like listening to you either.
I don't like
I don't even like you.
No.
Get out. Thank you for listening to the Lads podcast. That was mad. That was fun. That was mad.
Fun. It was.
It was a bit of a crazy one. Let us know if you like it. Let us know if you hate it. Let us know if you hate Steve.
Yeah, do. I'd like to know that.
Would you really?
I actually do at this stage because I think about it so much. You know, I'm always like, fuck, they all hate me. Right,
okay.
Go on.
I hope you enjoy. But I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Look, you can always give us feedback, leave us comments, send us messages if there's something you want to hear us talk about. If there's something you don't want to hear us talk about, look, the floor is yours. We're just the lads chatting about stuff. All right.
That's it.
See you at the exact same time whenever you listen to it next week. I've been Steve Collins,
and I've been tired.
He remembered. Good man.
See, my outros are okay. My intros are crap.
They are.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.
God bless.
Bye-bye.